All right, Supreme McGriff Jr. How's it going?
Finally, bro. It's been me and you been in communication for a long time, man. Everything is good though. Good to be here, bro.
Yeah,
Thank you
it's
for
been a
having me,
minute.
man.
Yeah, for sure. No
Definitely.
problem, man.
That was like what, a year and a half ago?
Was it that long
Yeah,
ago?
I think we had our first conversation maybe like a year and a half ago, and then we had another conversation with the homie on the phone on three-way when I came out here last time. Remember when we had the three-way conversation? But
Yep.
yeah, but we here though, man. Cam, what's up, Cam? Cam Capone, what's the
Hey,
word?
shit. Glad to have you here.
Good looking, bro. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, if you could tell my viewers a little bit about you, where'd you grow up,
Oh
what it
yeah.
was like for you, and
Oh yeah, Queens, Southside Jamaica, Queens. I'm pretty sure everybody know what that is in New York. That's one of the most notable places in New York. Yeah, just Queens. That's pretty much sums it up right there, man. All the biggest people. I get into this discussion all the time with fellow New Yorkers, but since I'm on the West Coast right now, I gotta elaborate a little bit. Queens is the most historical place in New York. Harlem is my second favorite place, my second home. But Queens, we known for the best rappers, the get money people, the best restaurants. We the best, man. Queens is the best, man. The best borough. Word.
the best rappers?
Definitely.
That's gonna be real controversial. That's
De-
controversial right there.
yeah, definitely. Respectfully, but definitely. Absolutely. We got too many, bro. It's too many.
I don't know, Brooklyn.
I
Brooklyn
they got
got a
they
lot
got three
too.
rappers that you can name.
What happened?
Brooklyn got three rappers that you can name. After that, it's starting to get thin. They got Hove, they got Biggie, and they got Fab. After that, I mean, what else can you say from Brooklyn? Who else can you say? Nobody.
But those are three.
Yeah, okay, but that's three good ones, and then Queens got 40. So you gonna put those three against this 40? It's impossible. It's
Who else
impossible.
from Brooklyn, man? You got Bleaks from Brooklyn.
Bleak is my guy. That's my guy. Salute, Bleak, Rock Nation, all that. Yeah, salute. But I'm talking about like in the grand scheme of things, Queens got Nas, LL, Mobb Deep, Run DMC, Tribe Called Quest, Nicki, Ja Rule. Like, it's just too many to keep naming. It's too many. You can't like, come on. It's too much, man. I love Brooklyn though, man. I'm not trying to start no New York beef, man, but Queens is it, man. Queens get the money.
Big Daddy Kane, bro. Talib Kweli, come on, bro. Little Kim. Old Dirty Bastard.
It ain't hit. It ain't hit. It ain't
Buster
hit.
Rhymes.
It ain't hitting like the names I
Joey
said.
Badass. AZ. Uncle Murder. Killer Priest.
It ain't hitting the same.
Sticky Fingers. Jam Master J. Why do they got Nas?
See, you might have pulled up the wrong list.
Oh,
it
says rappers from Brooklyn.
Nah, you might have pulled up the wrong list. Cause I know for a fact, I can bet my life, Nas ain't definitely not from Brooklyn.
I don't know why they got Nas on this list.
Yeah, I don't know what algorithm you on.
Pop Smoke.
RP Pop, that's my dog. RP
Foxy
Pop.
Brown.
RP Pop.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. But okay.
We can agree to disagree.
We can agree to disagree,
yeah.
man. But I can see Queens is definitely
yeah, we the
with
one.
it.
Yeah, we the ones.
No doubt, bro.
We the ones, definitely.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
We had our first
had our first debate. That's a fact.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments who's got it. Is it Queens or Brooklyn, man? Who got more rappers? So what was it like for you, man? You know what I'm saying, on a day-to-day basis?
Well, I was like a good kid growing up, man. I went to private school. I played baseball. It wasn't like the status quo typical thing that you would think about me being who I am. That's definitely not how I was. It was the polar opposite. Like, I was not involved in nothing in the streets. Didn't get in trouble till probably like my later teen years. Like, it was smooth sailing, man. It was smooth sailing. But then once I found out who I was and who my pops was, then I started to get a little big-headed, man. I started, trying to throw my weight around a little bit, but that was short-lived, though. I'm all positive now. It's none of that no more. Word.
So you find out who your dad is, and that was like, were people already treating you different? Like, did everybody else know who you were before you know who you were?
Yeah. So, I'm a kid, though, so it's not like I'm conscious and aware of what's going on, but when I got to the age of like fully knowing and being aware, like around 11, 12, after I had to sit down with my mother and we discussed we never spoke about that. So like, the first conversation we had, it was because a dude had came up to me in a barbershop in my neighborhood, and he had gave me like a whole bunch of money. He was like, "Yo, yeah, just take this." And then I heard him telling other people in the barber, like, "Yo, that's Preem's son." And I was always hearing that, but it really hit me that day when he gave me the bread. And then I went back to my mother and I pulled out the money he gave me. I'm like, "Ma, who is, like, why everybody keeps saying I'm the," so me and her had that talk. And then I'm like, damn, people give me money for being this dude's son. I'm about to really start. So then I started like, you know, owning who I was or embracing it. And it was fun. Definitely was fun. Coming home with wads of money from people, from his friends, from his peers. Like, I like that. I like that feeling.
Did that make you want to be in the streets or following your dad's footsteps?
A little bit. At first, yeah. Like me, like maybe 15, 16, definitely. But, you know, I'm one of those people where I can see where something is headed or where it's going to take me. And I know I got to get out of it quick. Like, I'm like, if I touch the stove one time and it's hot, I ain't going to keep touching it. I already know it's hot. So, like, a couple of things had transpired when I was like 18, 19. And I just was like, yeah, this ain't it. This is definitely not it.
Did you graduate from high school?
Of course. Hell yeah, definitely. And I went to college too. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What was high school like for you?
I went to old boys school.
You went to an all boys school?
Yeah, so that's what it was like for me.
The whole time? Junior high, high school, everything?
Nah, so I went to a school called Holy Cross in Times Square, elementary school, and then after that, high school was all boys. Yeah, that's very weird. Now that I look back on it, I wish I could have been in a co-ed school, but that's just how the cookie crumbled.
And you went to school in Manhattan?
Yeah, I never went to school in Queens.
Okay.
Never. Always,
private school? So
yeah,
what?
Private, yeah.
So what was it like? You know, you're going to this school, and I'm guessing it's probably a pretty good school, private school.
Yeah.
There's probably not a lot of violence going on there, but you live in Jamaica, Queens, so where you're living is kind of wild, or at least it's close to it.
Yeah, I grew up in a house. I didn't grow up in the projects, but my house was like 4 blocks away from the projects though. But I don't really think it was that turned up though. Like, I hear stories about the Bronx and about Brooklyn and about other places in the world. Like, Southside, don't get me wrong, like, they get it in, but it wasn't like crazy. Or maybe I just didn't see the crazy because of who I was. So like, I was good wherever I went. But, you know, it was, I can't even say it was a culture shock going to school in the city, because I was in school from kindergarten until my senior year in the city. So that's all I really knew. I feel like it would have probably been a culture shock if I would have started in the city and then came to school in Queens. It probably would have been a culture shock. But since I always was in school in Manhattan, in the city, it was regular for me. That was the norm. Like, I used to bring my homies from the neighborhood to the city. It's like to show them around and stuff like that. And it was a culture shock for them being from Queens and then coming to the city. It's two different worlds. So, yeah.
What about like when you're hanging out at home, or you know, the kids that you're hanging out with, they're probably not going to private school.
I never really hung out with the kids in my neighborhood like that until I got older. I was always hanging out with the kids in the city. I would get out of school and, like, instead of me taking that hour trip back to Queens, I would just hang out with the people that I was in school with. So, you know, and my mother ain't really want me around the people in the neighborhood. But when my uncles came home from jail, like, now I'm more in the neighborhood now because I'm with my uncles. But my mother ain't really, yeah, that's why she had me in school in the city. You know, moms always want to protect their only kid. Well, they want to protect all their kids, but especially if you're their only kid, they got a close, like, gotta keep you in reach. And she worked in the city too, so it was easier.
How old were you when your dad got locked up?
6.
6 years old, okay. You know, did you guys continue a relationship when he was in jail?
Yeah, hell yeah, definitely. See, the thing about that is, right, what I try to tell people is, like, he's not the typical father. Like, his mind and his personality and his characteristics is, like, so far left. So our interactions is more like on some military type of dad. Like, he a military father. Like, he's not like, oh, hey, he's not gonna coddle you. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's trying to sharpen your mind and sharpen how you move and, like, make sure that I'm militant. So, like, it was never really like that regular father and son dynamic. It was more like a drill sergeant type of thing.
Did the kids in the city you were going to school with, did they know who your dad was? So they ain't had no idea.
Yeah, but in high school, yeah, they did. Yeah, it became definitely more of a thing in high school than it was in elementary kids don't really care about stuff like that, but it's you being in 8th grade and then you being a sophomore, it's right, like it's 2 years apart, but it's really a wider gap than you would think. So 8th grader is not gonna really care about my father being who he was, but sophomore, junior in high school, you a little bit more older, you a little bit more mature, you reading a little bit more, you seeing the block, like you get what I'm saying? So it was definitely night and day from me being an 8th grader in elementary school and high school. Definitely, especially with the media, the news, and shows and like stuff like that. Then yeah, I tried to like keep it low, but I feel like it always comes out some way, shape, or form. It always comes out. Yo, you know who that is? Yo, you know who that is? It's always gonna come out, even if I'm trying to keep it like under wraps. It always came out wherever I went.
Well, then the whole 50 Cent thing too. You know what I'm saying? That I'm sure that, you know what I'm saying, him being a big, at that time, the biggest rapper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that like amplified it, because
did.
now it's like,
It did.
Everybody's talking about all this stuff.
Mhm.
You know?
I got a question for you, right? I don't know if you ever had somebody ask you a question on your show.
You know what? Surprisingly, everybody's been wanting to ask me questions lately. I don't know. I guess I gotta start doing more interviews or something.
Yeah, but do you feel like those two names is always gonna be synonymous with each other?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I can't get away from somebody mentioning that dude in my interviews. Like I know that that's to be expected, but like that's why I said this is gonna be probably my last interview. This is gonna be my last interview because I'm just like, damn. Every time so I know their names is always gonna be synonymous with each other. It's just gonna be something that we just gonna have to live with at this point.
Yeah, I don't think you can get away with it. Cause I mean, you're talking about 50 Cent, one of the biggest artists. Your dad, I don't know, one of the biggest or the biggest.
The biggest.
Kingpin from Queens. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be hard to separate those two.
Yeah.
Especially because, there's always gonna be people who just want to know, and there's always gonna be, you might go to a platform and 100,000 people might see it, but that's only 100,000 people.
Yeah.
So you might come to my platform, 100,000 people see it. That's a whole new 100,000 people, that would be interested in that topic of conversation. Shit, I'd embrace it.
Yeah. Sean, you would embrace it if you was me. I would
embrace it. Yeah.
Yeah. Respect.
For sure. How was your feelings towards 50 Cent, and how did you discover everything?
Well, I mean, it's not even so much of me discovering it. Like, it was out in the open. Like you said, he was the biggest artist at the time. He's talking about this. He's beefing with my people, Murder Inc. and all that stuff. So it was kind of like right there in my face. That's something else that you can't get away from. Like, 'cause it's literally every day something is happening between them on the radio or this or music or so. So it's like right in your face. You can't get away from it unless you want to just not watch TV, not listen to the radio, not go outside anywhere. But I don't really think I had no feelings toward him like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, he 20 years older than me, so I couldn't really have no sentiment or feelings towards him. But of course, I'm gonna naturally side with my people because that's just what I gotta do. That's just protocol.
What are your thoughts on how the beef started and everything happened?
I think my dad being from Southside Jamaica, Queens, and 50 being from Southside Jamaica, Queens, they from the same neighborhood. So I guess 50, well, not I guess, I know 50 looked up to him. Like, that was like the creme de la creme. He was what everybody aspires to be coming from Queens, like driving the cars, the fame, the notoriety. So 50 looked up to him, and, I guess he wanted to rock with my father. He wanted my father to put his arms around him. He wanted him to embrace him. But my father was already moving and grooving with who he was moving and grooving with. So it was kind of a thing like, why are you messing with them and not me? From my interpretation of it, I think that's what started it, or that was the inception of like, oh, you don't rock with me? Okay, now let me show you how much better I am than them, which was Ja Rule and the Murder Inc. dudes, because they was from Hollis. They from another side of Queens. They from the north side, and we from the south side. So the north side and the south side always had like a little beef going on, like a little friction going on. So 50 like, I'm from south side. You supposed to be with me. But he was already rocking with Murder Inc. and they from the north side, so it was like a conflict of interest type of thing for him. Maybe jealousy though. I would just say jealousy at the end of the day. All that shit I just said was semantics, but I'm gonna just say jealousy to put it the short form.
Have you ever ran into 50 or been around him?
Twice, I went to a Mobb Deep listening party, and God rest the dead Prodigy. I told this story before too, but my uncle had came home from jail, and my uncle was cool with somebody in jail. And when the guy he was cool with, he was an Italian guy, he came home and he opened up a nightclub. The nightclub was named Griffin. It was in the meatpacking district in the city. And Prodigy would always go there because he was cool with my uncle's friend. They was mutual friends. So one day after we left Griffin, the club in the city, we all went back to my uncle's friend's house around like maybe a couple blocks away from the club, and Prodigy was there. And that's when I got introduced to Prodigy. I probably was 19 years old, 18, 19 years old. And, you know, Prodigy and my dad had a little, like Prodigy had a little situation with my father. Like he didn't like my father. He had said some shit about my father in a book. And then when he seen me, it was all love. So, you know, we built like, we was cordial with each other. I ain't gonna say we built a relation. We was cordial. I was around him a couple of times. And then I seen that they were doing a listening party. So I had hit him like, yo, I'm trying to come to the listening party. I'm with my people. And he wasn't really responding to me. So I'm like, that was kind of weird because I've been chilling with you this whole time. But in hindsight, he didn't want me to be at the thing and running the 50. But I still wound up going to the listening party. And as I'm walking in with my people, 50's walking out. And at the time, I hadn't even been on the internet. I haven't went viral. None of that had happened. But as we walking past each other, I'm going in, he coming out. Like, you know, sometimes people get a gut feeling or they get an eerie feeling like, yo, I know this dude from somewhere, or like you just can't put a finger on it. He looked at me like we like fake locked eyes as we walking by each other, but it was nothing though. So, and then the weird and the funny and the ironic thing was we both turned around at the same time too once we already passed each other. Because obviously I'm thinking what's about to go down, like it's something about to go down, but I don't really think he knew, but he knew. And then probably when I went viral, he probably, in his mind, he probably was like, damn, I seen that little motherfucker. Should have. But word, so that's one of the times I seen him right there at that Mobb Deep party. Word, that probably was like 2013, 2014. Word.
Do you think it would be a problem if you ran into 50?
I don't think so. I don't think so. It wouldn't be like no Jimmy Henchman type of thing with his son and all that. Yeah, I don't think it would be no shit like that. He probably won't even say nothing. That's the crazy thing. I don't even think he would say nothing.
I mean, everybody's older now. You know? No?
Oh, but you saying that like everybody's mature? That's what you meant by that?
Yeah.
Nah.
No.
Some people don't mature when they get older. Some people still stay the same where they was when they was in their 20s and their 40s.
Man, I seen a guy talking about your dad and Jay-Z. On your dad approaching Jay-Z at a casino.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see that video?
Are you sure with Jay-Z? I don't think he approached him at no casino.
Hold on, bro.
He might have did. I don't think it was Jay-Z though. You might have got the names. Yeah, you don't even gotta play no more of that bullshit. What's his name? I seen him before.
Choke No Joke.
Yeah, Choke No Joke's full of shit.
Oh,
He full of shit. You think in the history of life that Beanie Siegel gonna push a chair between my father and somebody? Never. Absolutely not. He just doing that for clickbait or something. But and then he's like, who like these stories that I be hearing, like shit, like I never seen that right there. But like I've seen something along those lines with other people talking about that, and it's just like that shit is so far fetched to me. Like it's not even like they probably don't even believe themselves when they be saying that shit. They just saying it just because it's like they know people gonna click on it because it's a caption or a headline with Supreme and Jay-Z in it, so that's gonna get clicked on. But never in life did Beanie Siegel put no chair between him, and that's impossible.
What do you think when you see these crazy stories about your dad? I mean, because they got.
I laugh at some of them. I laugh at some of them because it's funny. Like I seen a story where somebody said that 50 put his hand on Preem and like rubbed his waves or some stupid shit like that. Like he's son Preem. Like, huh?
Yeah, I think I interviewed Bangam Smurf,
That's probably where I seen it at.
and Bangam said that Preem came up and rubbed 50's head, and 50 did it back to him.
He probably wouldn't even have had a hand if he did that. That hand that he rubbed his head with probably wouldn't even have been. It would have been a nub if he did that. Like, these people is just crazy, man. They think this is a movie. That's probably what they think this shit is a movie script. Like, come on now. And it's not even on no tough guy shit. It's just a respect thing. Like, everybody respected him. So you think a little dude from the neighborhood gonna just put his hand back on his head and like that's what it's gonna be? Absolutely not. But Choke no joke full of shit though. Just go back to what that he's full of shit. I seen a lot of shit he say. I was just looking at this dude like, yeah, he desperate for views.
So you don't think he has any credibility? None of his stories.
No, no. Because if you get your information through telephone where somebody tells something to somebody telling somebody, by the time it get to him, it's a whole different story. So I feel like that's what be going on with these people. They just be getting telephone stories. And then by the time it gets to them, then they gonna add their little seasoning, their little adobo or sazon on it, and then it be some whole other shit. And that's not even what the original person has said. Like I hear that and see that all the time, the telephone game. So I mean, I should call Beanie. She gonna ask him did he put a chair between my father and Jay and see what he say. He probably be like, hell no. Who said that?
That's definitely a question. If somebody interviews Beanie Siegel,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. So you were big on 50. You were a big fan of 50 Cent.
Growing up, yeah. I mean, that's all they played on the radio. So I mean, yeah, he had. I'm not a hater. Like, if the dude had good music when I was growing up, like he had some dope ass songs when I was growing up. I'm from New York. I'm from Queens. That's all they played on the radio. That's all they played on the radio. So yeah, I was a fan.
How'd your dad feel about
He
you
didn't
being
know
a
that.
fan?
He didn't know I was a fan, but I don't think he would have been mad at that. Like, that's petty. I wouldn't consider my father a petty person. Like, that's mad petty. Like, oh, don't listen to his music or I'm gonna disown you. Like, nah. He had some dope shit. Like, he had good music. He was on top of the top. He was on top of the world for a reason at that time. So it wasn't because his music was whack.
Yeah, you grew up like his era of music is like
Dominated when I was growing
when
up.
you grew up.
And if I'm in a club right now to this day and his song come on, I'm not gonna tell my niggas to go beat the DJ up. You feel me? I'm chilling. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Somebody might have a video out there of me dancing to one of his songs in the club.
that could go viral.
Yeah, like somebody
Easy,
might have some footage out there of me dancing to one of his. I never said I ain't like his music though. His character and some of the stuff he do and like some of that, like that's I know how to separate the art form from the person. Like, yeah, I don't think that that's one thing.
I mean, anybody ever like tease you about it? Like, oh, you know what I'm
Of
saying?
all the
Like, you
time,
fucking
they
bumping
they
50 Cent.
all the time. I was at a Royal Flush. He's a rapper from Queens. He has cancer right now. He's fighting cancer. So they had like a little fundraiser concert for him, and all of the people was there at SOB's Thursday, but right before I came to Cali, and a 50 song came on in SOB's when we was all in there. So my homeboy that was with me, he tapped me like, "Yo, they playing your brother. They playing your brother." So people still tease me like to this day about that. I just think it's funny. Like, it's funny. Yeah, I don't take that shit. I don't take that shit personal.
When the beef was going on, was you like you and your mom ever like worried like some enemies might come get you guys or something?
I think
I mean, not even just 50, but
yeah.
I'm sure that there was other people too.
I think that's one of the reasons she had me going to school in the city because she was worried about that. But I always been a kid where I felt like I had a guardian angel watching over me, like so I never really was like nervous or scared, like, and like she would call me. It got to a point when I got like my later teen years where she would call me like, "Yo, where you at?" And I'd be like, "Yo, I'm here, and that," and I could just see the look of fright and fear and worry on her face because I told her where I was at. But it's like I never was like worried about nothing happening to me, bro. I never had that because I feel like that's the energy you put out to the world is what's gonna happen to you. So if you always going out thinking something's gonna happen, then it's gonna happen. But if you know that you dot your I's and cross your T's and you with the right people, then you gonna be good.
Did you ever run into any other G Unit guys?
Shockingly, never.
Never.
Never. I ran into Lloyd Banks. I never told this story before. A lot of people might get in trouble if I tell this story, but I don't give a. I ran into Lloyd Banks. We had the same barber, and I went for a house call. Like I went to his crib to get cut, and Lloyd Banks came in the crib while I was getting my cut, and then he got his cut after, and me and him just sat there and chopped it up for like 3 hours.
So he knew who you
Yeah,
were.
yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. But Lloyd Banks is mad cool. Like I f with Banks, mad cool, mad down to earth. We was talking about basketball. We was talking about politics. We was talking about everything. I f with Banks. I like Banks. He a cool dude. I never told nobody that before either. That's a Cam Capone exclusive.
You might get Lloyd Banks in trouble.
I mean, I mean, shit. It is what it is.
I don't know if 50 seems to be pretty strict when it comes to stuff like that.
He is.
So did you guys talk about your dad at all?
Who, me and Banks?
Yeah.
Nah. We just had a regular convo, but it was like a good 2-3 hours. Good 2-3 hours, man. He regular convo. We just talking about mad different shit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How long ago was this?
This probably was 2015, 2016. Yeah.
Were you surprised that like you guys got along?
Nah, cause I don't really feel like Lloyd Banks was. I feel like he's just a rapper, you know. Like he might have did whatever he did. I don't know what he did in the streets. I'm not privy to that. I didn't. Whatever he might have been the street dude, he might have not. But to me, like he a rapper, so I'm not gonna be on high alert when a rapper comes somewhere. You get what I'm saying? So, and it turned out to be good because we had a 3-hour conversation. Word.
Yeah, that was it. Never seen or talked to him after that?
Never. Yep. That's just that one encounter right there. Shout out Lloyd Banks.
Now, you guys kind of shocked everybody a while back when a picture of you and 50's son started going viral on the internet.
Yeah.
You know, everybody. I think he kind of got a lot of the backlash, kind of like he was kind of stabbing his dad in the back.
Yeah, talking about Marquise. He got the backlash.
He got the worst end of the stick. I didn't really see too much about you.
I don't really think he got the worst end of the stick. I think his dad got the worst end of the stick because of the comment he left under the post where he said he wouldn't care if both of us got hit by a bus. He would sleep good. I think he received the most of the flack because at the time me and Marquise were so young. Everybody was just like, you know, these are kids, like, you know, just in the situation that really don't got nothing to do with them. Like that was everybody's take on that. But I feel like once he put that comment under there, it just went into a whole nother realm. Like it just went to a whole nother thing.
How'd you guys end up taking the picture?
Crazy at SOBs. It was an event going on at SOBs, and we both was there. And one of my friends that came with me, he's an older dude, a little bit older than me. He was like, yo, y'all two getting a picture. But I didn't know who he was and he didn't know who I was, but everybody around us knew. So I guess they thought it would be like something. So we took the picture and then it just came out maybe 3 years later. And then it just like.
So they were sitting on that picture for 3 years. Now, how surprised were you
when it
came out? Were you like, what the f***?
Oh, no. So 6 people had the picture, myself included. I was one of the people with the picture. So I sent the picture to my homeboy in Cali, Val. Shout out Val, Valtown. He got one of the dopest pages on Instagram where they post the old throwback, nostalgic pictures of all the crime figures from the 80s and the 70s and shit like that. Like my boy Valtown. Me and him got a podcast too called Rich in the Hood. But he had a page at that time. And I had sent him the picture when we first started talking. I sent him the picture like, yo, because he was like, yo, you got any dope pictures of your dad, any throwback pictures? You get what I'm saying? So I was just sending him pictures. So I just came across the picture I had with me and Marquise in my phone. And I had sent him the picture. I'm like, yo, what you think about this? He like, yo, bro, can I post this? Like, I think this is going to go crazy, bro. And he had a lot of followers on his page on Instagram. So me not thinking too much of it, I'm like, yeah, post it. And I had went to sleep. And I'm just getting calls, blown. Shit went viral in my sleep. So I woke up and then I see all the likes and the comments I'm like, oh nah, he not about to get all this shit. So I posted on my page. And then when I posted it on my page, that's when he wrote the comment like, yo, if these dudes get hit by a bus, I would sleep good at night. And then when he wrote that comment, I laughed and went back to sleep. And then my phone started blowing up again because now Ball Alert in the Shade Room and all those people had picked it up. So then after that, then the next day TMZ had picked it up, and then it just went crazy. It was crazy. So I ain't getting no sleep that night pretty much.
Yeah.
Or for the next couple nights for that matter.
It went crazy.
Yeah.
Now, did you guys ever communicate or talk after that?
Me and Marquise?
Yeah.
I had reached out to him through the DM maybe 2-3 years after that because these dudes had wanted us to do a celebrity boxing match. And I hit him like, yo, these dudes got a bag for us because I heard a story about him. He was in a jeweler and he was trying to trade in 2 little chains for a bigger chain. So I'm like, damn, he probably needs some money. So I hit him like, yo, these dudes trying to give us $50K a piece to box. And then he never wrote me back. But then he took a screenshot of that DM and he posted it like on a thread when I guess him and his father had went through something else. And then, me and his picture came up again. Every time him and his father have a situation on the internet, me and his picture always surfaces. So he posted a slide like, yo, I don't even know this dude. Like, look at him trying to reach out to me. Like, he seen me in SOBs and he was on some fanboy shit. And then I'm like, whoa, how would I be on some fanboy shit? I didn't even know who you was. You get what I'm saying? And then he posted my number on his Instagram. And, like, I was getting, like, 30,000 calls in 5 days because people see my number on this page. And I'm like, why would you do that? Like, you did that on purpose. So that was annoying, but it's over with now. But yeah, but we ain't never really had no interactions. Like, he not like, I really don't interact with too many people that's not on my not I'm not gonna say not on my level, but like we don't have like minds. Like he from Long Island, I'm from Queens, so me and him don't have similar mentalities or mind frames. Like, it's night and day. So it would really be nothing for us to talk about.
What do you think about the people living off of your dad's name?
Should I think people would try anything to stay relevant, and they know if they talk about him, they're gonna be relevant. So that's just how that go. But I feel like it's kind of getting watered down a little bit. Like, people, the older guys on the internet, 50 plus, 60 years old, still talking about, like, even the whole choke with no joke situation. Like, I would consider that living off his name too, because you reporting stories about this person. You get what I'm saying? That's not here to confirm or deny it. So, but I think that's just when you somebody of that magnitude, people always gonna talk about you. So it's like, I'm not gonna say it's a bad thing, but like, just people got to be more selective and more aware of what they say when it come to him. Like, they got to keep it super respectful.
Now, is there any chance your dad is gonna be able to get out? Is there any appeals or anything going on?
Yeah. Hell yeah. He working on that currently right now. He got a documentary coming out this year about his trial and how, like, all the ins and outs of the trial. But hell yeah, I definitely do think it's a possibility for him to come home. And my cousin Prince too. Definitely a possibility for them both to come home. And I'm optimistic. I'm never going to put negativity in the universe. When people ask me, "Oh, you think they're gonna come home?" I'm always gonna say yeah, because I'll be a negative Nancy, and that's my dad. I want him home. You feel me? My cousin, I want him home. You feel me? Everybody that's in jail, I want him home, unless they rape the old lady or rape the kid. But like, I don't really think people should be in jail like that. Like, they serve their time, let them come home. They don't need to have 18 life sentences. Like, that's ridiculous. You feel me? So that's just how I look at that whole situation.
Now, you mentioned Murder Inc.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a good relationship with him. You knew him since you were a kid?
Yeah, definitely. Ja, Chris, Irv. My uncle just walked in. Fave. He in the background, but he a part of that whole camp. He from out here. He from the West Coast though, but he was like real tied in with them. And whenever they came to the West Coast, they would tap in with him, and he'll be moving around. They'll be moving around with him. So, yeah, that's family. That's home team.
Okay.
Hold on. I feel like when you ask me about Murder Inc., I feel like you about to ask me something about. Go ahead, ask me the question. I know that's coming though. I know that's coming.
I don't have any more questions about Murder
Oh,
Inc.
you don't?
But go.
Oh, no, no, no,
What
no.
did you think I was gonna ask
I
you?
thought you was gonna ask something about Irv and Ashanti.
Oh, I wasn't.
Oh, all
But
right, good. So then let's move on then. Good. I'm glad you wasn't gonna do that. Word.
Okay.
Yeah, but Murder Inc. That's home team, man. Shout out to them, Chris, Ja, Irv, all them good people over there. Word.
Yeah, Irv talks about how, you know, they tried to get him to kind of snitch on your dad or dry snitch on him, kind of.
Yeah, hell yeah. So him and his brother was facing 20 years for the money laundering case, and the DA offered them 6 months. So like they tried to make it like tell us anything, say anything about him because we want to get him, but you know Irv and Chris, like a lot of people feel like music industry people are fake, and I tell anybody that Irv and Chris Gotti are two of the realest dudes in the music industry, period, because 98% of the people in the music industry would have made a lie up just so they can escape trial or the case or whatever, and they seen it all the way through. They took their case to trial. Like people not doing that. You offer somebody a year in jail right now, they're gonna tell. They was facing 20 years and they didn't say nothing. So it don't get and you wouldn't expect music industry people to do that. It's the music industry, it's fake. You get what I'm saying? Everybody in the music business is fake, but they the realest ones in the industry in my eyes.
And they beat their case.
And they beat that shit. And you don't beat the feds. The feds got a 98% conviction rate, and they beat the feds.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So you said they're doing a documentary about your dad.
Yeah, my dad's doing it himself. He's
Okay.
doing it himself. He's producing it, directing it. He's doing everything himself. Cause I know you probably seen the Nas. Nas did a documentary on the Supreme Team, and that was on Showtime. So that was a mass appeal production. This production is just strictly my father, but Irv and Tyson are executive producers on it. But it's solely about just my dad and his trial.
Irvin Tyson.
Are executive producers.
Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's going to be dope.
Mm-hmm.
Irv, yeah, he's been doing a lot of TV stuff.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
He did the Murder Inc. documentary. I think he did
Tales.
Tales.
Yeah. Made in America, I believe he did something called Made in America too. That was like a short film.
Okay.
Yeah. Got to get into the TV world now. TV and the movie world, that's another bag for you.
Yeah. You watch Power?
No.
No.
Never.
Okay.
The only time I watched Power was when somebody sent me like the last episode. It was like a leaked footage, and I posted it on my page. So that was the only time I ever seen like Power or watch Power or anything like that.
What'd you think about Get Rich or Die Trying?
Like, what you mean? Like, did I like the movie?
Oh, well, okay, we can start. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we gotta break that
Yeah.
question down because I know that question is like a 15-part question, but it was a movie like about. I think that it was bullshit. Like, you gotta everybody with a brain knows that my father was being depicted in the movie, or maybe that's what he wanted it to make it seem like, and then at the end of the movie he beat the dude up and kill him. Like, I don't know if he was. Maybe that's what he wanted to do, or I don't know what that was about. But I mean, that's his life story. That's what he wanted to put in his life story. That's what he wanted to put in his life story. Like, I don't got a dog in the fight. I just thought it was, if that's what he intended for that to look like, and that person Majestic was supposed to be my dad, I think that was crazy.
I mean, yeah.
Did you like Richard Die Trying?
Yeah.
That's one of your favorite movies.
I don't know if it's one of my favorite movies. I wouldn't say that.
But you liked it though.
I liked it. Yeah.
Why you liked it?
I mean, shit, it's a gangster movie. Shit,
that was a gangster movie to you?
You know, I mean, fights and, you know.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I mean, it wasn't good acting. It was like bottom of the barrel acting, but it was I mean, I guess that's what it was, his life story, man. I mean, what can I say? It was his life story.
Well, it did 46 million at the box office.
Really?
So, I mean,
but that was
pretty good for an independent movie.
That was all a part of the hype, though. It was because it was him. He was the biggest artist at the time. So somebody that got shot allegedly 9 times, like, people love that type of, that type of story, that type of image, that type of persona. So it's a story about his life where he's depicting or reenacting him getting shot. People are gonna want to go see that. People love gangster shit. People love street shit.
Now I seen that you met up with Rick Ross, the rapper. Okay, what was going on with that?
Okay, so it's that's a funny story too. A lot of people on the internet thought that me and him was trolling homeboy, but me and him was already, cause I went and gave him a Supreme Team jacket. Like I got these jackets, the world famous Supreme Team jackets, and I went to Miami and gave him a jacket, and it went viral. But that was around the same time him and this was like maybe 3 weeks ago. So, but that was around the same time him and Curtis was going back and forth. So it looks to the naked eye like me and him joined up to like spite this dude, but me and Ross had been talking for like maybe 5 months, 6 months prior to me even going to give him a jacket in Miami. But nah, I'm rocking with Ross right now. Like that's home team. Like I rock with Ross. That's my dude. Word.
Yeah, Rick Ross got a lot going on.
Hell yeah. Hell, he's definitely like people like him, people like Jay-Z. Like those are like the people that I like. I wouldn't say idolize, but those are like the people that I look up to because like they got a lot of shit going on with the business. They moves. They like any black man coming from like the same walk of life as me, where I came from, same neighborhoods, and they touch $1 billion. Like of course I'm gonna look up to them. You feel me? They ain't never really do no boy shit. They made great music. They was great artists. Then they left that and went to another realm. They were successful in this realm. Then they went to this realm. Like that's something that I want to do. So people like Ross and people like Hov is people that I look up to. I want to read you something right here too. You asked me about if I think my pops come home. It says right here, appeals court orders judge to reconsider Supreme's motion for a sentence reduction. So it's a lot of stuff going on as far as pertaining to my father about sentence reductions and him getting maybe pardoned or whatever the case may be. But we'll have more information this year. You know, Irv doing the movie too on him, the Supreme Team movie. Irv is doing that too right now, and the producer that did the Joker, I think Todd Phillips, he's working on it with Irv. So my father got his documentaries that he's doing, and then maybe in another year, I would say, Irv is going to start the production for the Supreme Team movie. So, yeah.
Also, Ja Rule recently was not in the hip hop top 50 list.
Whoever made that list got to have like some type of vendetta against Murder Inc. Because I seen that list that he wasn't in the top 50 rappers on Complex. And then I seen another list and Irv wasn't on the top list of label executives. And I'm like, I be feeling like people try to like erase what Murder Inc. did from the history books, but you can't really erase nothing that's already in the history books. You get what I'm saying? Like they broke records. Ashanti was the biggest, I think, debuted female artist in R&B ever. They won Grammys. They was with Jennifer Lopez. Like you can't erase history no matter how you try to slice it and dice it. But that list, that all them lists is just like, those people that make those lists got to be on like fentanyl or something. Like they on some type of drug. Because there's no way Ja Rule is not on the top 50 rappers list. And I seen people like, I ain't even going to name no names of people who I seen on there, but he's definitely over them.
Who are some of your top legends from Queens?
Rappers or just people in general? Well, my dad is definitely one of the top legends from Queens. I'm gonna say my father. I'm gonna say Russell Simmons. I'm gonna say, damn, I don't know if I should say Russell. He got a lot of shit going on right now. No, okay, I'm gonna say Russell Simmons, my pops, Nas, Damon Jones, the guys that did Fubu. I'm gonna say, damn, it's a lot of legends from Queens. But we can just leave it at that top 5 right there. Russell, my pops, LL, Nas, Damon Jones. Yeah.
What do you think is like the craziest thing that ever happened to you?
The crazy thing that ever happened to me, I guess me getting shot in my hand. That probably was the crazy thing that ever happened to me. Cause like who get shot in their hand? You never heard nobody getting shot in their hand. But I think that might have been, and it wasn't for me. It definitely wasn't for me. I was just next to somebody and it was a whole little situation, and then yeah, I got shot in my hand. But I didn't even know I was shot in my hand. Like my cousin had got shot in her back, and like I picked her up and carried her to the car, and like we driving to the hospital, so that adrenaline is probably going crazy through my body, and then when we get to the hospital and I like put her through and rush her through the whole process, and my hand just feel like it's on like I don't want to talk about getting shot because I don't want to jinx myself again, but like that shit feel hot and cold at the same time. So I'm like, and I look down, and my hand just gushing blood, and I didn't even notice that shit because I was just worried about my cousin. But that probably was the craziest shit that happened to me.
Did anybody ever approach you over your dad?
Like in a negative way?
Yeah.
Never.
No, not one person.
Not one person. Never ever.
Anybody ever give you some funny looks or something, and you was like, "Oh, this one recognize you, like he knows who I am."
It been all love, bro. I never had one bad encounter because of my father. It's always love, it's always respect, it's always like I never even heard a bad story about him. Like even Prodigy had wrote that thing. To go back to that story, Prodigy had wrote that shit in his book about my father, and then when I seen him in person, he was telling me different stories. So like even from like people that you would quote unquote call an enemy or somebody that was not on his team or was a friend of his, they all have good things to say about him. Like even 50, I seen a clip, we just was talking about it on the drive over here, and he was like, I don't like Preem, but he was true to himself and he never ratted on nobody, like he a real dude. So if 50 is saying that about him, like that's a compliment in my eyes. Like I never heard no bad stories about my father ever. So that just goes to show his character and who he was as a person and what he meant to the people that he came in encounter with.
What do you think about the China Mac and Adam 22 beef?
They both were trying to get their point across, and it just became a shit show. Like they making, yeah, that's a China Mac and Adam 22 beef is like a porn star beefing with a Chinese guy is crazy. Like that's just crazy. But China Mac is a real street dude too, though. Like he's really a street dude, and Adam's not a street dude. And then the beef started over Crip Mac. So I'm just like, yo, it's a Crip guy, then there's a Chinese guy, then there's a porn star in like California and New York, and this dude is like, it's crazy, man. But China Mac is my guy. Like that's my dude. Like he's the reason I even went to Adam 22 because he had a rapport with them and he got me on the show. So like, I don't know. They need to. I think it might be over though, but it's funny. It's comedy. It's entertainment. That's what it's for. I don't think nothing's gonna come out of it. It's just for entertainment.
I haven't heard anything in a couple weeks now.
No, you probably mean a couple days, because a couple weeks ago they definitely still was into it. Adam just did something on his show like maybe 4 days ago. I seen about it.
About China Mac?
Yeah, like 4 days ago. He put out so many clips you probably can't even keep up with him. So, but yeah, it'll die down. It'll be over with if it's not already over with.
Yeah, I don't think China Mac's even working with Crip Mac anymore.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't think so either. I mean, they had a good thing going though. The whole Mac Adventures, like they definitely had a good thing going.
It was working for him. Definitely.
Yeah. And I mean, free Crip Mac. Hopefully he'll be able to come home. You feel me?
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't get all the time that they're speculating he might get.
Yeah. Hopefully he'll be able to come home, man. Free Crip Mac. Shout out China Mac.
Yeah.
Shout out Adam 22 too. I don't got no issue with Adam 22. Shout out him too. He had me on this platform, so word. I don't got no issue with him. Him and China Mac shit is him and China Mac shit. But I'm saying China Mac is my guy who introduced me to him. So like, yeah.
So what all are you working on?
Shit, right now I'm just promoting these jackets, man. These jackets that I got on right now. I'm in the fashion thing. I'm doing something for Fashion Week in New York, February 9th to the 12th. So I'm doing the jackets. I'm working with a couple artists right now. In production for one documentary and one show, so look out for that. And I started writing my book a couple months ago, so I think like around the same time that Irv dropped the movies, probably when I'm gonna drop my book. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. But yo, if you see these jackets, man, or let me know in the comments what y'all think about it. If y'all want to get one, definitely tap in with me, man. These is the hottest jackets that came out. And in my eyes, people just telling me they're the hottest jackets that came out in 2023. But I think these is the hottest jackets that ever came out. So let's say world famous on the front, and then Supreme Team on the back. Word. Hottest jackets ever made, man. Word.
Well, that's what it is, man.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
I appreciate you stopping by.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Long time coming, man. This interview's been 2 years in brewing. Thank you for having me, man. Good looking.
Yeah, for sure, man. Glad you can make it. Yo.
Appreciate you.
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon, so hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone News.